You know how all in I go sometimes? Like sometimes I do a leap before I look. Or I do look, but then I still leap, even though it could potentially be a bad idea because it's something I've never done or never used before. Case in point, the first video on this channel. I don't know if you can see them, but the Ravage Star back there. All of those were kind of, you know, I'll look before you leap, but still take the leap moment. That's kind of what today is. So I heard from, like, you know, watching YouTube videos and miniature painting videos a while ago, last year. I saw people talking about a certain classic paint set that was getting kind of a new formula, a new release type thing. Or it was sold to a different company or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it all went down. But I saw that, you know, people were ranting and raving about it with just getting test samples. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Let's try it. Let's get it. Let's try it. So, yeah. Heavy box. I picked up the P3 Master Set from their Kickstarter. It's just, it is heavy enough because there are 100 acrylic paints in here plus the regular paint set, which I think is another 10. Let's open the box. Let's open the box. What is in the box? There. Ooh. Stickers. I got stickers. Is that 2 things of stickers? No, just 1. Then, okay, so this is the mixing guide for, okay, bases, shades, highlights, top highlights. Oh, okay. Okay. That is a lot. That is a lot of stuff. And just looking at all this, this is a good amount of paint. Like, holy crap. Well, let's get all you back into your little, you know, things. Because the way this was sent, it was upside down. It was in the box upside down. Stuff kind of got a little mixy wixy. Oh, look at that bright ass pink. There's a bright pink right there. Brass balls. Balls. I'm looking forward to trying this because I've heard so many good things about this paint set that I'm looking forward to trying this, which is what we're gonna do right now. Okay, so we unboxed P3 just now. I'll be honest, it was like weeks ago that I unboxed it, but I'm just getting around to actually using the paints now. I went and grabbed just a small piece of terrain from one of the Kill Team box. Oh, my throat. So I grabbed one of the pieces of terrain from the Kill Team Octarius box. I've already got it primed and just ready to go for painting. I just never got around to actually painting it. Yeah, we're good. Oh, mother... Oh, of course I'm noticing it now. I'm noticing it now. I should really go through the terrain that I have gone and clipped and make sure there's no bits and pieces that are still there. Let's, I gotta show you this. Okay, let's see this. Focus. Focus. Are you focused? You're focused. So, this little bit here is sprue. This little bit is sprue. I did not clip them off. Why did I not clip them off? I don't know. Just happened that I didn't do it. Well, first, let's clip this stuff off. Well, that kind of flew. Okay, first I'm gonna paint the tire. I'm gonna paint the tire, and we're gonna use 3 P3 colors. So I can start, you know, practicing with them. They have this really handy mixing guide that they sent with that I'm gonna try out. The one that I'm doing is because there's going to be a tire, I'm going to do Thamar Black as my base. Then we're going into Coal Black as the highlight, and then even higher highlight, we're going to do Menoth White. The way that they say to do it is, you know, mix it on the palette. I've never actually done that. If you've seen any of my other videos, I've never mixed on the palette. Everything is just layered on. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try a new technique today. I'm gonna cover the whole thing in Thamar and then try and do a little bit of blending for the tops and stuff. Feels like they're going on pretty smooth. It's just, you know, I think I might have used a little too much water. That might be what it is. I think I just used a little too much water with it. But it feels like it's going on pretty smoothly. So, since I've done that, we're going to put some Coal Black down. Make sure I go and shake this up a little bit. I shook it up a little bit before, but just make sure it's good. Okay, I think we're good. I'm liking that. I'm just a really quick thing I'm doing, but I am currently actually really liking that. And that's just the tire. Now I'm gonna add in some Menoth White and see what Highlight Plus does. This, we're just going on like the very tops. Couple of drops and that's it. That's all I really need. It's not smooth, it's not pretty, but I think it kind of works. I'm not great at the technique yet. That's the thing. I'm not great at the technique. Okay, so I'm gonna do all these steel like girders, and the way I'm gonna do that is using cold steel as my base, pig iron as shade, quicksilver as highlight. So I'm gonna do base and then mix in the shade and mix in the highlight with the tops and bottoms. All right, cold steel first. A bit more cold steel. Then we're gonna go with shade. So pig iron, right? Cold steel, pig iron, quicksilver. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get, you know, into the corners and just anything that's behind the other big sheets, I think is mostly what I'm trying to do for this shade. So like in this, going down to there, hitting up this bottom, and then that whole edge, that whole corner. That would be shade done. With the shade being done, it's now time for the highlight of quicksilver. I'm gonna do the wire, and then I'm gonna do copper on these. Which means I need a little bit more Thamar Black. Let's start with the wire. So far, from the little bit that I have been using these P3 paints, I am very much liking it. I'm very much liking using them. But I'm also not, a paint snob that knows everything there is to know about the paints. I just like using the colors that I think are good for it, or the colors that I need at that point. But so far, I'm liking them. I'm also having fun trying all the blending stuff, because I've actually if you look at my other stuff, I haven't really done wet palette blending. Most of the way I've been painting is just layering, which I'm kind of doing here a little bit, not a lot, because I'm layering the stuff after I've kind of tried blending it on the wet palette. But yeah, so far using the P3, I am liking it. That's the Thamar Black done. That's the wire, the battery, all that's done. I'm gonna go with copper pipe and try that for all the connections on here. But I'm gonna go with a slightly smaller brush. Let's go with a 1. Okay, so that is copper done, black done. Now I got some, fancy colors to do. What I mean by fancy colors is we're going orange, blue, maybe a little orange there. So what I'm doing so I grabbed some colors for the P3. I'm doing Inferno Orange as my base, Cawdor Red as the shade. My highlight and highlight plus are Ember Orange and Cygnus Yellow. And we're gonna do it, I know this and this I wanna make orange. So we're gonna start with those. Starting with Inferno Orange. So for the large orange panel, I went and base coated it all in Inferno Orange. And once I was done with that, I started to work on the shade using Cawdor Red and wet blending that together on my palette, and then just putting that on kind of the lower side of everything. It went along the bottom edge of the panel on the front side. It went a little bit inside of the cutout area there on the bottom of those metal panels on the side, at the base of the spikes, and then all on the back where it looks like sunshine wouldn't, light wouldn't really hit it. Then for my slightly lighter color, I took Inferno Orange, mixed it with Ember Orange, and I put it on the bigger areas that would be getting light on the panel. The top edge, well, not even the top edge, close to the top edge, but not exactly the top edge, but areas that are big, flat, open, kind of pointing towards the sky. I put that combination on there, so it's just a little bit lighter than the straight up Inferno Orange. And for kind of edge highlighting, I combine Inferno Orange with Cygnus Yellow. Just hit the very tops and edges of the upper rim, the top of the spikes, the top of the panel that's sticking out, and just a little bit. Just a little bit of pop on there for those areas. I'm actually liking that. I wasn't sure at the beginning, but I'm actually I'm really liking this paint. Probably should have just done orange on, I probably should have just done step by step for both of these. Oh well. Okay, I'm kinda liking that. Now I want to see what happens when I do the cast Signar. That's the right one, right? I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna do these ones, and this are going to be blue because I want some contrast in there, and that's kind of how I've done other terrain with this set. So let's get some Signar blue on there, and this time I'm gonna be smart. I be smart, and I'm actually gonna go and do this side and this side in the blue before I go and, you know, move on to other colors. Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think my blues turned out that well. I just don't think they don't feel good. The orange I felt really good about. Like, painting up the orange stuff, I felt really good about that. The blues, not so much. I don't know if I did a little too much of mixing colors, but I don't think it turned out as well. And let's talk about that. So, with the Signar blue, I think I used a little too much water on my palette. Because the way it went on was, it felt really thin. It's a lot of brush strokes and stuff. And like, it works, but I think I put it on, I think I made it a little too thin in my wet palette. And it didn't go on great, but it went on okay. At least for the base layer. The base layer I don't think went on great. The other stuff went on fine. Starting with like the base of Signar blue, putting that over everything. Then I came back in with Exile blue and combined that with the Signar. And I put that towards where the ground would be. So like the very bottom of the pipe on the right side, the very bottom of the armor piece on the left, the bottom area that's holding the pipes, underneath the window cutout on the right side, and then a lot on the back, towards the base, behind the wheel, like all that stuff. And once I finished putting all of that shading in there, I grabbed Stormguard blue, combined that with Signar blue, and that was kind of my like slightly lighter tone. A lot of that I put on the flat areas, kind of like I did the middle highlight for the orange, just so that would be, you know, add a little bit of contrast in there. So it's not just a big panel of blue. Once I got that done, I combined the Signar blue with Moro white, and yeah, that kind of worked in some areas. Other areas, I think I combined a little too much, and it didn't work as well. Like the left side of it with that angled piece by the orange, that I think works well. I think that one looks good. I think it's bright enough. I probably shouldn't have put like so much on here, but I think it's bright enough that it works. While the right side, I'm pretty sure it combined too much of the white with the Signar blue, and that really desaturated it, and I don't think it looks as good. I don't think there's that good of a transition between that and like the Stormguard blue. So the right side I'm kind of disappointed in. I think some of it looks okay, but I don't think it's all that good looking. While the left side by the orange stuff, I think looks fairly decent. But now that I'm done with that, let's get on to doing some more of the bits and pieces of the metal. I'm going with galvanized steel this time, which, according to the sheet, need galvanized steel and iron hull gray for basically everything else, I think. Yeah, I think everything else I'm gonna go with that. Except for light bulbs. Light bulbs are gonna be a little different. So, where are you? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where are you? Iron hull. Galvanized. Sorry if there's, you know, a little bit of a rumble out there. People are, they decided to go and mow today. Galvanized steel is my base, right? And then iron hull gray for the shade, and cold steel for the highlight.
Okay, editing Ben here. I made a little whoopsie. So I kind of forgot to go and hit record on my upper camera when doing the galvanized steel stuff. So I will talk about what I think of the galvanized stuff at the end, but let's jump straight into painting the light bulbs.
I grabbed some sulfuric yellow, and I decided to paint in all the light bulbs with that, which that took 2 coats because it's yellow, and yellow does not cover all that well. But I did get that done. I got all of them covered. And then I decided to do yellow on the compass speed gauge thing that's on the back. Actually, no, hold on. Stop that. What I gotta talk about first is what I actually did first wasn't the light bulbs. No, the light bulbs and the gauge weren't first. No, I put in copper accents on a lot of stuff because I wanted to go and, I didn't want to just have galvanized steel pipe and all that. I wanted to give it a little bit of pop of color, so I grabbed some more copper pipe. I painted like just small little bits on certain areas. So like the pipe got copper on both sides, inside and out on an area. I did some copper pipes on the back. The compass speed thing, I did copper pipe on the edge of that, and then I accented the different grills and stuff with just a little bit of copper in the galvanized steel area. And then I don't know why, but I had the thought of, let's put a little bit of copper on the top of all of the rafters, all of the girders. I don't know why I did it. I just did it because I felt like it. Then I came back in and I did the light bulbs with sulfuric yellow, and I put 2 coats onto that because it's yellow and I think it needs 2 coats. I also went and did it on the inside of the speedometer type compass thing on the back, which really didn't turn out well because I probably should have done that before I did the copper. I don't remember when I did it, probably right after the blue, but I also did the orange on the right side that matches the 2 orange pieces. But yeah, that's it. Let's get to my actual thoughts when I completed this. I do like these paints. These P3 paints are really good, and I'm probably going to use them more. Not on like the project I'm currently working on, because this is kind of just, an offshoot video. I got these like a couple weeks ago. I didn't get around to using them because I was trying to finish my night haunts or my chain rasp. But then I decided, since I got these, I want to do something with them, and I just grabbed a terrain piece from the Octarius box, like I said. So, my favorite parts of this, I actually really like the orange. I think the orange I did really well on. I'm not a huge fan of what I did with the blue or the black. Like I don't think these went super well. I like this. I like the lights, and then I like how much the copper pops, and I kind of like the cold steel and galvanized steel combination. I like that. I think it's really muted, but it feels like galvanized steel would be good for like this little range of galvanized, iron hull, and cold steel, plus or maybe like quicksilver and pig iron in there too. I think that would be good for like kind of a Space Wolves type army. It kind of looks like that. But yeah, I think my favorite parts are the orange bits. I think those came out really well. Then I like the lights with the wire and the copper. I like that part. I kind of like this side blue. Kind of like this half. I kind of like from here over, I kind of like that half. Here over, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think I did all that well on it. But yeah, except for like this. This wasn't well. This didn't go well. So, my thoughts on the P3 paints are, I do really like using them. I'm going to use them more. I need to figure out a place to put them so they're not just all over my table. But yeah, currently they'll be used in a project or two. Not the one I'm working on with the night haunts, but another project I will use these on. And yeah, that is all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please tell me your thoughts on the P3 paints if you've used them. Either this new set from, Steamforge Games, or like the old set, because I know this is a relaunch, or like a rebranding, redo type thing. But yeah, hope you guys have a royal day, royal night, whatever it is for you, and I will talk to you later. Please, if you did like the video, do all that algorithm stuff. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't. It would be much appreciated.